I want to talk to you for a minute about the stress that comes from being charged with any type of criminal offense, especially one like DUI that could affect your ability to drive. Many people find that it's almost impossible to sleep and get a full night's sleep because of the stress they're going through. Lack of sleep can lead to other problems, including inability to do your job, inability to focus. Believe it or not, some people actually have accidents because they're so distracted by the case that they can not pay attention to what they're doing on the roadway. It can also cause problems with relationships with you, your spouse or significant other, your children, even your parents, if that's the situation you're in. What we try to tell people is you're going to have to realize that when you hire an attorney, one of the things you're doing is shifting the weight from your shoulders to theirs. If you need medical help, you're going to have to seek that yourself. We will try to help you find someone if you don't know someone who deals with these issues. Sometimes people just have to talk it out with a counselor. Sometimes they have a trusted friend or a pastor, minister, or rabbi they can talk to. But if you don't have someone like that, we don't want you to try to deal with it and get no kind of help at all. When we've seen this happen, we've seen people deteriorate and get worse and worse and sometimes resort to drinking. And that's the worst thing you could do, is get in more trouble while this is pending. So what we're going to recommend you do is that if you need a recommendation to a doctor or a psychologist, you can call us. We'll help you find someone that's close to work or home so that you can see them. Why this is important is that stress is something like snow. If it keeps building up, sometimes there can be a collapse of the whole roof system. By that I mean that people can have a nervous breakdown, and unfortunately in about a dozen cases in my 33 plus years, we've had clients before we ever got to court commit suicide. We don't want to ever have that happen. That's a tragedy that should never come from something like a DUI when we have such good results overall at getting the case knocked out, and we know we're going to be able to take the person through the process one way or the other without it being devastating to them. But people in their minds sometimes have beliefs that this is not going to work out, or they have fear of some part of the case, maybe going back to jail, that becomes such an obstacle they can't keep going. We've recommended that people follow a series of things such as getting exercise, being careful about your diet. Don't start eating just fast food, for example. You need a very healthy diet. And exercise, we have found, is probably the most important thing because it takes away a lot of the tension. We have a clip coming up from Dr. Blue, and he's going to talk to you about some of the problems that can come from stress and how these things are all connected. So I'd like you to watch this clip and see if you get something out of it. But remember, if you're having a problem, you talk to the attorney assigned to your case and we will help you find someone in your area.